Hey, you guys. Welcome to Melissa Valentine's Nursery. My name is Melissa, and guess what? We are here with number 8. Number 8. There's only 10 of this series. It's a series. The Dark Side of Doll Collecting, Tales from the Crib. This isn't to start drama. We all know we're on the 8th episode. This is simply just, like you're hanging out with me in my doll room, and we're just talking about, it's a great hobby, but then there's there's things that happen. I have Gretel here with me. I don't ever have Gretel in my videos, but Gretel is here. And her hair, I'm gonna take this off. Her headband keeps falling off. So ever since I put it on her, we've had malfunctions with the headband, and now I'm dropping everything. I have everything I don't set up for my videos, but I basically kind of have a little, I know I'm gonna dress this baby because I don't always do dress ups. What is it called? Change and chats. I don't always do them, but I said let me go do it in this one, and I got my notes because I have a YouTube notebook. And I don't use it, I use it loosely. I don't write down everything verbatim. So, numero ocho. I don't know why I feel like I have to do everything in Spanish count. I don't know. I'm not Hispanic at all. But I do know a lot of Spanish. I can read it better than talk it. So, number 8 is Baby Formula Funk. Not the C. Funk. FunkUps. 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 Baby Formula FunkUps. The Line Divided. Lotion, Elmers, and Bear Formula. Oh my. Now, you guys like what I did there? I tried to make it work, but, lions and tigers and bears. Oh my. Lotions and Elmers and Bear Formula. Oh my. Okay. Anyway, I tried. I try to be cute with some of these titles. So, I came into this hobby hardcore, I've always, here and there dolls, whatever. But when I came into it hardcore, I gotta be careful because I didn't bring no hair stuff for her. So I don't think I'm gonna brush her hair. It's in the living room. But anyway, when I came into this hobby, it was kind of right after the time of the baby formula shortage. You remember that? And a lot of videos that I had seen was videos where people were having a conniption fit over, collectors using real formula, right? And I was like, oh, the drama. What's going on with the drama? I need to know, right? Because, we're women and we don't always want to be a part of the drama, but we want to know. We want to know. So, I'm going to undress her as we talk about this. I try to go down with her clothes. I don't go over her head because she has a partial silicone. I've already started stripping her. She has a partial, oh my God. I have her, when I don't touch her and play with her, I have her with a Ziploc behind her bed but for these purposes, I'm not going to do that. I don't put a zip, we're doing a video. We try to, I want to experience the baby in the video and as I hold her. So she is my partial silicone. She is Presley Sculpt. She's brought to life by her hair could be brushed a little better, but Natalie, she's I have 3 of her dolls. Precious Reborns Nursery. She was rooted so well. I avoid clothes going over her head at all costs if I can, because when they're rooted, you can't really glue the hair in. It's silicone, whereas vinyl dolls you can. So you're gonna see me kind of dress her a little awkwardly, but that's because I don't want to this beauty. I want to preserve her hair as much as I can, so her clothes are going to come off a little awkwardly. So anyway, when I came into this hobby, the there was a lot of videos that I had come across about the shortage with the formula, and artists, you know, using these, not artists, collectors using formula for their babies, you know, in role play or whatnot, what have you, you know? And I was like, what is going on? Because, you know, I understood collecting, but I didn't understand that like grown women actually role play with babies at that time, right? You know, we could all admire. I've had her a while, and only now she's starting to get shine. Only now. But, and I don't want her to get cakey either, but look at her. She's got fingers. Oh my God, look at those fingers. Oh, is it a bunker? So in this hobby, I didn't realize that people actually, you know, pretend feed. And I'm not gonna lie, like I gave it a whirl, like not my thing, you know, maybe in play, but some people do, and to each his own, you know, no judgment. In fact, I am doing a video in the future regarding my experience with, I gotta be careful, with, oh God, with baby bottles. And for me, it's mostly aesthetic, right? For me, you know, everybody does their hobby their way, which is beautiful. Okay. That's the beautiful thing of the hobby. It's done different ways. Different people do it different ways. So okay. I want this baby to last. I'm telling you, I'm very careful, with this baby. Well, I mean, I'm careful with all of them, but you know, look, she got the little, oh my God. Okay, Melissa, get to the story. All right. So my thing is, to each his own, right? I was going to change her diaper, but I'm not going to, because it still looks good and it's pretty. It's prettier than the one I have. You know, the formula shortage, you guys, if there's a shortage, you don't, why, right? I'm not going to go ape shit nuts on anybody over that, but it's common sense. You know, the real babies need it. But there's different ways to go about feeding our babies, especially like making it real, right? But there's going to be a video. It might have already come out. I think it will have already come out by the time this video comes out. So if you haven't seen it, go see it. Yeah, it should be out. It comes out on Tuesdays with Sandra and Mantan. So anyway, are we really needing to use a real formula? Okay, during the shortage, no. Come on. No, I don't think so. I really don't think so. Before. You know, and that's my personal opinion. Everybody's entitled to their opinions. I'm not gonna start no drama. But it's important that, you know, infants get their nutrition. Real infants. Now, I am a huge advocate for breastfeeding. Huge. Some people don't. I'm a huge advocate for breastfeeding. I tried breastfeeding my son when he was first born. He had breathing problems, so he could not latch. He was tube fed, believe it or not. He had a tube in his nose that went down to his stomach because he couldn't breathe, and he wasn't able to swallow breast milk, or any milk for that matter. So they had him tube fed. So we had to relate when he was in NICU, sucking on a pacifier while getting nutrition into his stomach, whatever. I never worked NICU, but I had a little experience with my son. Nowadays, lately, there's not really a shortage. I go in the store and I see formula all the time, right? I see it all the time. In fact, I'm going to be honest, I have 4 cans, and I don't know what happened. I don't know if the web pages I don't know what happened. I don't know if somebody signed me up. I don't know if somebody sent it to me. I don't know. I have 2 cans of Infamil and 2 cans of Similac. And So I have them. I've been meaning to donate, but I think my nephew is done with it, but I'm not sure. But I'm working, I forget. So, I mean, it is what it is. There's not really a shortage right now. I'm not worried about a shortage. If there was, you know, I think my sister even donated breast milk during the shortage. My sister in Atlanta, when there was the shortage, like people were more easily accepting other people's milk because, you know, but I think breastfeeding is amazing. And I just, by the time my son came home, well, I wasn't making enough breast milk and I did not know that. You know what 2 cc's is? 2 cc's is like 2 drops, basically. 2 large drops. That's all I made every time I pumped. So they were at the hospital. They were like, oh, you're doing such a great job. Oh, yeah. And I was like, yeah. And then when I started seeing other moms dropping off their milk in NICU, I was like, what is that? Her bottle container was full. And I'm like, is that from one pumping? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? So now, going back to this, because I go off on tangents. Now, in the today world, right? I've got this I'm putting on her. I have pink socks and pink mitts because I want to make sure her feet are okay. But I'm going to put this on her. It is a Carter's newborn. I hope it fits her. So, some things we need to be mindful of, right? With the baby formula, because in all honesty, they are for the real babies, okay? I don't care what you do, right? I'm not completely concerned about it, but we also have to think, hey, you know, if we are using real formula, do we feed these babies often? Are you feeding your baby this baby formula, which this baby needs no nutrition, right? None of our reborns need nutrition, okay? She looking at the camera? She looking at the camera? Look at the camera. You have aunties and uncles out there. Yeah. You see them? Be like, hey, what's up? So are we doing it often, right? Is it, you know, should we switch to something else? And in my bottle video, you're going to see different alternatives, even like alternatives that, if you haven't watched it, it mimics scooping powders and stuff, you know, if you're into that. Under true shortage circumstances, I can see reserving it for the real babies, right? This is not going to fit over her body, and I'm kind of scared. I want this on her though. But, oh God, this is a brave thing I'm going to do. I think this would look so cute on her. I just got to get it over her big head. I don't want to ruin her hair. I don't want to pull it out. I'm very careful. So, you know, obviously, if there's a shortage, I would hope that my viewers would be, you know, kind and generous and not do things like that. You know what I mean? And there's, you know, I don't seek out formula. We go into the baby section of stores and we know what it is. We know when, you know, there's no diapers on the shelf or, you know, things like that, right? We know when things are looking kind of scant. Oh, come on now. So I had made this sheet prior to my bottle video. So there's a lot of things I'm going to say that I probably already touched base on in my bottle video. But, you know, there's things people use. They use, I'm not a fan of it. I'm going to save the good ones for my bottle video. So go check it out because I'm going to leave the good ones for that. But there are household items, things we use every day that I promise you have in your cabinet right now that you can use if you do the role play thing, that you can use. I gotta be really careful, you guys, with her silicone. Yeah, there's things that's in your household right now that you can use for bottles. And I'm not talking about just making a bottle of milk where it's this white you know, look like cow's milk. No, I'm talking about, you know, we want it to be close to the real deal, right? So, you know, real baby formula is a little thicker than, you know, cow's milk, and it's got that yellow tint. Her hands look enormous with these things on, you know. So I'm going to give you some tips in this video, but if you want to make, I'm telling you, I know a lot of ways to make milk. I know a lot of ways to make baby formula. Go check out that video, and it's informative. But for one, in this video, if you all about to scoop into formula, people use flour. I'm talking about your regular all-purpose flour. Now, it's not a permanent put in the bottle type deal, you know, and, you know, it's not that. It's not where you can store it forever. No. Although, I do have a long-term option in another video. But, yeah, so people use flour. If you want to do the whole scooping thing, simulation, where you feel like you're making a baby bottle, you can use flour. The thing about flour is it can get clumpy, right? So you kind of want to make sure you sift it a little bit before you start scooping it, you know, and put it in a container. You could use a coffee can that you've had. If you use coffee cans, do they even sell coffee cans anymore? I don't know, because all my coffee things are in the plastic jars. But you can, like, you know, take it and use it to simulate, you know. I'm being really careful about this baby's hair here. This is my little Melissa. This is my first authentic silicone. She's a partial, and she's amazing. I love her, and she feels so real. So, you know, you can make magic bottles. That's an option, right? I also know how to make the magic bottles. So that's also in the video. With longer term stuff, you know, to use. So, and then, you know, you have to consider, right now we're not in a formula shortage, you know. You want to be kind to our fellow sisters in our community. This is a hobby that everybody wants to enjoy. I don't watch anybody with the drama. I am staying away from that. I like the hobby for what it is. I like to enjoy it for the beauty, you know, the escape from working constantly. So we don't need all that drama. And if somebody wants to use formula, you know, and there's plenty of it, why make a molehill out of an anthill? You know, she's a little bit of a beefy baby here. She's a little packed. Well, I have mostly newborn clothes, so I think I have her in newborn clothes, and she's more 0 to 3 months. But we're gonna put a sweater. I have a nice cashmere sweater to put her in. So she got a long torso. But yeah, so, you know, my thing is, we raise women up, right? We're women who raise women up. We're not women that put other women down. We encourage, we educate, right? So these baby formula snobs, you know, in the today, not back then. Back then, if there's a formula shortage, let's think about the real babies, right? But, you know, let's also educate on ways to that we can make other bottles. Like, first of all, you guys, formula's expensive. I feel flour's cheaper. You know, if you're doing the flour route, because that's in your cabinets. Take flour, add warm water. Hey, you do formula with it warm, right? The water's usually warm. It's warmed, right? So flour, and shake that milk up, right? And be careful because it clumps. I'm not a big fan of the flour, but I'm just saying, if you haven't watched the other one, go watch the other one, because that's where you get the real tips from. Because this video, I don't like to give away too much in videos that ain't supposed to be. So that's from my other series with Sandra. So use flour. And then if it's too white, right? When you shake it up, if it's too white, then add just a little bit of food coloring. Just a little bit of food coloring. And that'll help. And those are only for like bottles for like one-time use. I wouldn't leave that out. You know what I'm saying? And then of course, you know, you have different type of nipples. I like the wide nipple bottles. I like those. Those are my favorite by far. I feel like, I don't know. I use them with my son. Actually, I use the Playtex drop-ins, like the ones with the different colors. Drop-ins for my son. I might use that. I like this. And so you guys, I feel like I just woke up. I was like, I gotta do a video. I gotta do a video. I want this one. We're done with this one. I might do this one. So you know, I feel like instead of attacking other women about that, because we have our own opinions and we feel certain ways. We do. We have our own opinions. We feel certain ways about, and we should be passionate about what we love and how we feel. But we have to remember, not everybody has the same insight on things. You know, some people's insight are very different than our own. And some people lack insight. Some people don't, like, you know, I work as a nurse and some people do not have the insight on their own, they don't have insight when it comes to their own health care. You know, they don't think their issue is as bad as it is. You know what I mean? When, you know, when I had my other job, I really wasn't keen on using pacifiers in her mouth, but she can take them. Just depending. I don't want to ruin her. I don't want to ruin her. That might not work. It might be too big for her. Let's see. She's got a little tongue. Oh, yeah, she's deep. She goes deep. I just don't want to ruin her. Her. I don't want to tear her mouth. I might have should have got some lube. Hold on. I want to force it to. There we go. Or maybe not. I'm going to have to use some lube. So anyway, so I like to use the wide nipples. And I think the old-fashioned glass bottles, I have one. I think they're so, I think they're awesome to use. This isn't working. I think they're, I like them. I like the glass bottles, to be honest. You know, do you guys like the glass? You like the glass? Do you like the plastic? I like the smaller 4-ounce bottles. I like the glass aesthetic. You know, everybody does the hobby their own way. I know this works for her. Everybody does their hobby their own way. And yeah, that's a lot better for her, I think. Yeah, we're going to keep that pasty for now because I don't know. I think she needed lube or something. It didn't want to go in all the way. So, but this is my little Melissa Bunka Boo. She got her little cashmere sweater on. We don't care that it's May because we're in the house all the time. Yes, we are. And we're in the Moses basket from Sandra for Mother's Day. Yes, we are. So, you know, I don't use bottles. I tried. It's nice for aesthetics. I'm more aesthetics than anything. Are you more aesthetic or are you role play? You know, what do you do with your bottles? She looks so good. She looks so good. You know? And like in my title, you can use lotion, you can use Elmer's glue, but there's a certain way of doing it, right? You can use regular formula. To each his own. I don't care if you use regular formula, but remember, if there's a shortage, we got babies. We got real babies, you know. And, you know, I'm not going to yell at somebody for doing their own thing. I'm not. You want to pay that much for formula? That's good. You'll pay that much for formula. But over here, in this world, if we really want to do a bottle, we're going to do it a certain way. And we're probably not going to use formula because I just can't, I don't know. It's not my thing. It's not my cup of tea. It's not my cup of tea over here. It's not my cup of tea. So, what have you guys come across when it comes to the formula stuff? I know this is a little outdated, you know, with the formula thing, but I remember coming into the hobby and being like, God, these women, they're like a bunch of bitches over formula. But then I realized, you know, I don't have a baby. So I was like, oh yeah, you got the shortage. You got the shortage going on. So I could see, you know. But hey, is bitching and moaning, does it ever make a difference? Because usually, you know, a priest once told my mother, you can't, what did he say? You can't, what did she say? Like, you can't argue with stupid, right? And a priest said this, a priest, you can't argue with stupid. So save your breath, right? And he's probably said a bunch of other things like leave it up to God and whatever your religious beliefs are, right? I'm not the most pious person in the world. I do believe there is a higher power, but I am not a holy roller. And a lot of you think I'll probably go to hell, but what you believe. So, you guys, I wanted to get on here and touch on that a little bit because that was one of the first things I noticed when I started watching YouTube videos in this community. I was like, oh, wow, these women, they're brutal. A lot of them's brutal, you know? But I'm glad we could create a comfortable, intelligent, compassionate community on my channel. Right, Melissa? Right, Gretel? Right? Yeah, right, yeah, okay. I don't have the best toddler voice, but I try. So, I love this. I love this cashmere sweater on her. And I wanted the other pacifier, but I'm not creative in dressing the babies. I do a lot of sets. You know, I have a lot of sets, but I actually realized that I didn't have any pants to match this top here. So I just grabbed this from a set and put it on her. She looks cute. She's cute as a button. I could have put a bow on her head, to be honest, and I probably should have, but it'll be okay. She's cute either way. We know she's a girl, and she's mama's girl. She's mama little Missy, little Melissa. So, well, you guys, write what you think. I have to look at her. Let me turn her this way. You tell me what you think in the comments. Because that was one of the dramas. That was the first thing, actually. Not the knockoff thing. Not the, oh, you got a knockoff and blah, 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 blah. No, I didn't notice. One of the first things I can remember going back was the formula shortage thing. And I was like, man, these women, I'll tell you what. So, if you haven't seen my bottle video, you need to go back and you need to look and check it out. But I wanted to touch on the baby formula FunkUps and tell me what you got. Tell me what you can remember. Tell me your feelings on it. What do you, how do you make bottles? My previous video, did you learn anything? You know, how do you feel about this stuff? This is just something I said, let me make it as part of my series. You know what I mean? Because I just could remember that was something that stood out from back then, you know. So, all right, you guys, I got to go. I had woken up and I said, I'm going to go do a video today. And I'm about to, my son, he's cleaning dishes and he's going to make us some tacos tonight. And he just picked up his books from school for the summer semester of his college. And on my way in here, I seen some of those books. Oh my God. I have no idea what the hell any of that stuff is. I do healthcare. He's doing tech, engineering stuff, whatever. I don't know. Electronic engineering, something like that. But he's like major into tech and electronics. So, all right, you guys, I love you guys so much. And I appreciate every one of you that's here. You guys are near and dear to me. I am still answering all your comments because I love you guys. It takes a lot of time and I do it sometimes really late, you know, a couple days later, but I'm getting it done. But I do love communicating with you guys. It's like an addiction. So I want to say thank you guys so much for shooting the shit with me, coming on here, being part of this. And I will see you on the next one. You guys, don't forget, read my description. You can always email me. It takes time. Sometimes it's a few days. I got a lot of emails. You can email me. You can go and buy me a coffee. And like I said, without you, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't have this, right? This clique that's hanging out, you know, together, because that's what it is. We're hanging out. So I love you guys. Until next time, like, subscribe, comment, share. What else? Everything else, right? You know the drill. Bye. Have a good one. See you next time. See you. Why is my thing not working, you guys? I have this thing and it don't work. Bye, you guys.